All right, what's up? Welcome back to another video. We are here. We're at week 1. It is finally here. About to have football Sunday, man. Football is back. So we're about to get back into it, man. This is a very critical time in regards to how you got your fantasy team set up and how you're going to start off. I figured I'd throw this video out here talking about the top free agents, the top people that are in the waiver wire right now that are sitting that you need to be paying attention to and considering picking up, rostering, or at least monitoring before somebody else comes and pick them up. Every single year without fail, there are always gold mines sitting in free agency in the waiver wire before week 1 that if you go back and look at it, you're like, dog, how the hell did nobody pick them up? Nobody noticed them. And so it's important to pay attention to some of these guys because they will end up being some big names later on down the line. So championships are not won in the draft. I know a lot of people after the draft, either you're feeling really good or you're already feeling pretty shaky about your team, but do not panic. Do not panic. You know, if you have a great draft, perfect. You just got to continue to build off of that. If you got a shaky draft, then all right, well, we just got a little bit of work to do. But your championships are not made from the draft. It's made from the adjustments that you make throughout the season, either through the waiver wire trades or whatever. So this is your time to be active, be engaged, you know, because that's what's going to really help you to survive. So anyway, let's get straight into it. Here are 5 players who I was able to put together. There's a few more, so I might do another video like this and be more a little bit deeper, like deeper sleepers. But these are 5 people that are kind of obvious to me, and I feel like they need to be rostered. Just sitting in the waiver wire right now, I'm surprised about it. So let's get straight into it. So the first one that I got for you guys, we're looking for. I looked at who was rostered from Yahoo, Sleeper, and also ESPN, and kind of gave them like an average roster percentage. I looked at all of their rosters percentages throughout both of those platforms and kind of threw it all together. So first one we're going to talk about is tight end Jonnu Smith. Jonnu Smith, man, he is rostered on average in about 36% of leagues. So if you go check your league right now, there's a 1 in 3 chance that he is sitting in a waiver wire or he's sitting in free agency right now. Well, really 2 or 3 chance. Yeah. So if you check your fantasy league right now, there's a 2 in 3 chance that this guy is sitting here right now. So first thing is, I just want to remind people, this is the tight end number 4 for last year. All right. This is tight end number 4 from last year. I don't think people really realize that. I know sometimes, you know, yes, he's on a different team. It's not Miami. But that is something to kind of note. And that's important because this dude is talented. And I was kind of scratching my head because his ADP was so low and even being undrafted in some leagues. And I'm just like, okay, well, you know, now because of that, the only reason he was able to end up finishing as a tight end number 4 last year was because he took advantage of the fact that it was basically a team that fell apart in Miami once two of them kind of got hurt. Things kind of hit the fan. And the only thing that was able to sustain that offense was A-Chain and Jonnu Smith. Right. Last year, he had 111 targets last year, which was 4th amongst all tight ends. He was also 4th in yards as well, amongst tight ends as well. So the year before that, in 2023, that was his 2nd highest career year in regards to targets. And that was when he was with Atlanta. And also that was when he was with Arthur Smith, who ironically enough, he is reunited with again this year with Pittsburgh. It is no secret that Arthur Smith absolutely loves Jonnu Smith, almost too much, a little bit, to be honest with you. But there is no surprise, and it won't be a surprise because he is going to be spamming plays, spamming looks, trying to find ways to get Jonnu Smith the ball, try and get him open, try and scheme him into the offense in a unnormal way. I will say that. Arthur Smith is a little delusional. But not when it comes to Jonnu Smith, because I do agree with him a little bit. He is very talented and he's a great overall player. All right. Now, I just want to remind everybody, Pittsburgh number 2 wide receiver is Calvin Austin. OK. And the number 3 wide receiver is Roman Wilson. Basically, they don't have a number 2 and number 3. Jonnu Smith will be the number 2 wide receiver just based off of his talent and also his versatility on this offense. He's going to be the number 2 option when it comes to DK. Then it's going to be Jonnu, and then we're going to go down from there in regards to who's going to be prioritized when it comes to move around this ball. So, you know, we've seen his versatility in Miami. He's been split out wide. You can throw him in a slot. You could do a lot with him. He almost looks like a wide receiver. He moves like a wide receiver, have the speed of a wide receiver. And even through preseason and mini camp and stuff like that, I mean, there was talks of how they even had him lined up in the backfield, in the backfield as a running back. I don't know. I mean, I'm not surprised just because it's Arthur Smith, and that's just, it's something that he's going to do. But what I'm trying to say is that they are going to utilize him at an elite level in this offense. And also on top of that, there's nobody else to really take these targets, right? So not only do you have Jonnu Smith in the new system, but you also have Aaron Rodgers as well. Okay, Aaron Rodgers, just to kind of refresh everybody, remind everybody, last year he had the second most passing attempt out of all QBs, only behind Joe Burrow last year. Also, last year he was able to support 2 top 10 wide receivers, which was Garrett Wilson and also Devontae Adams, right? I mean, yes, I know it kind of looks sloppy and it was all over the place. It's the Jets, right? This situation, I mean, it's Pittsburgh too, so but it's a lot better than the Jets. I could say that from a just overall organization standpoint, operation in regards to their offense and how they flow. It is a better situation. Yes, Aaron Rodgers is 1 year older than he was last year, or at least will be, but Aaron Rodgers the passing volume will be there. Okay. He's not mobile, right? He's going to be looking to throw this ball as often as possible and also get the ball out as quick as possible. So we're talking about quick reads. We're talking about, because you don't want him getting, being behind the line, getting sacked, holding the ball too long, so he's trying to get this ball out as fast as possible. So that means that you don't have plays which are going straight to DK, straight to Jonnu Smith, straight to whoever else in this offense. And there's going to be a lot of passing volume that's going to be involved just because it's Aaron Rodgers. And he has a history of being able to support multiple top fantasy receiving options. And that's no surprise to anybody. Yeah, with that being the case, the ball, he's going to be throwing at a high clip, and I don't really see that changing much. And so for me, with all those things being considered, I look at it as being criminal that he's still a free agent in some of these leagues. So if he is available in your league, I think he's worth at least a stash, at least let me see what's going on with him and let's see how this works out. Because if it goes well, he could have another top 5 tight end finish. That is in the realm of possibilities for Jonnu Smith, because at the end of the day, we've seen it in Miami. I've seen that Jonnu Smith can sustain himself, can sustain a full offense. So that's my first person I got for you guys, Jonnu Smith. All right. Now, second person I got is Michael Penix Jr., quarterback from the Atlanta Falcons. He is rostered at the current moment on average about a 29% roster rate. So good chance that he could be sitting here in free agency in one of your leagues right now. And first off, I just want to talk about his talent, man. He has one of the most talented arms right now in the NFL. Yes, I know that he is really technically a rookie in a sense. He played 3 games last year, the last 3 games of the season last year. So still has a lot more opportunity. Didn't really get a lot of reps in, to be honest with you. But this dude can throw the ball, bro. He has an elite arm talent, in my opinion, just based off of film. That's something that I can for sure say about Michael Penix Jr. is that he is accurate, he is consistent, and he makes smart decisions in regards to getting the ball out just as a passer in general. He's primarily a pocket passer. Yes, he can get out and move, but at the end of the day, he wants to sit back there and throw darts all day, to be honest with you. And so that's a great thing from any pass catcher that's going to be on the team for Michael Penix. But just kind of giving you guys some context for last year. Last year, he did play in the last 3 games of the Falcons season. And so those were his first 3 official starts in the NFL. In each one of those 3 games, every single game, he consistently improved in regards to his passing attempts went up, his completions went up as well, his yards went up, and his TDs went up as well. So every single game he improved. Every single game of those 3. Yes, it is a small sample size, but it is still something to note that it shows that he got more comfortable in the system. And also he had a better understanding of just the game speed and, how to kind of be successful in regards to his role as a starter. And that tells me a lot. Even in those last 3 games, even though they threw him out there, I mean, I think he played really well. Did he play elite? I'm not saying he was, next Josh Allen or anything like that, but he played really well in those 3 games, all things considered, regarding the situation and the fact that he improved every single game, and also the team stats improved every single game. He had Drake London out there who improved every single game, had great performances from that. He started to get Kyle Pitts involved as well. So, I have no doubt that with a full off season of him knowing he's a starter, getting those first team reps with those guys, that he can't really improve, and really be a little bit more comfortable in the system. So with that being the case, though, just in regards to his opportunity, he has one of the best offensive situations right now for any young QB in the league. He has Bijan in the backfield, who's a top 3 running back. He has Drake London, that's his wide receiver 1, who's a top 8 wide receiver, at least in my book. I mean, he may even finish a little bit above that at the end of the year. We'll see how things go. He has a good O-line to be behind as well, especially in the run game. And then also he has Kyle Pitts as well, who has the potential, to have a top 10 tight end finish. I mean, we've seen it. We've seen flashes of what Kyle Pitts can be. I know Kyle Pitts has burnt a lot of us, myself included. But at the end of the day, you can't deny that he is talented. And if you have a QB, he just needs somebody to get him the ball. But anyway, we'll get into that a little bit later. Right now, we're talking about Penix, though. Basically, Penix does bring out a different side to this team. Once Penix was able to start those last 3 games, you did see a different side. You see a lot of guys get turned up on that team, on that offense overall, just having him back there. And I think that that's going to pay dividends in regards to how he starts off the season, just how the season goes in general. And I think that brings a lot of value for Michael Penix Jr. Just in general as a fantasy option. So he's somebody who I would definitely stash as a QB2, to be honest with you. If you want to carry a QB2, but at least if you're not going to pick him up, that's somebody to at least monitor, because I feel like he can have a similar impact to like Baker Mayfield. I think with the Bucks, I think that's how I look at Michael Penix, at least ceiling wise as of right now. But he's somebody that I would definitely stash or have on my bench for sure. All right. So next we got Isaiah Likely, tight end from the Baltimore Ravens. He is rostered right now on average about 15%. Only 15% of leagues is he rostered. So there's a very good chance that he is sitting right now in free agency in your league. All right. So last year he was ranked amongst the top 10. He was actually ranked number 8 in tight ends in regards to touchdowns. Okay. So he was number 8 in touchdowns amongst all tight ends last year. Now this is while having the least amount of reception out of those top 10 tight ends. Hit the least out of everybody and was able to score within the top 10. The average amount of receptions out of those top 10 tight ends was 68. He had 42 receptions. So almost 20 less than the average for those who were in the top 10. I do see that number obviously going up for him this year. But ironically enough, guess who was ranked number 1 in regards to touchdowns? Who had the most touchdowns out of all tight ends last year? You guessed it, Mark Andrews, who ironically enough, as of the day of this recording, is his birthday. So he is turning 30 years old. All right. You got a 30-year-old Mark Andrews who is declining, just due to age and things like that. Yes, he's always going to kind of be that safety blanket a little bit. That's been his history with Lamar and this offense. But at the end of the day, he is declining. He is getting older. We've seen that last year. And eventually, Isaiah Likely will take over as the tight end 1. I actually thought this was going to happen last year, to be honest with you, but we saw flashes, especially week 1 last year. We've seen flashes throughout the season last year with Likely that he can be that tight end number 1 at an elite level, at an elite clip. And if Mark Andrews was just out the picture, bro, there's no reason why he couldn't keep that at a consistent rate last year. With Likely, he has an elite connection with Lamar based off of, if you go back and look at the games, he has a certain feel for open space, and especially on those scramble plays when everything kind of just hits the fan and we're like, okay, well, let's just play backyard football. He finds Isaiah Likely, and they seem to be locked in on those plays very consistently too. And they often result in touchdowns as well. So that's something that is very evident in regards to this offense. And that's something that they need right now, because Zay Flowers, I mean, Zay Flowers is a great player, but you know, sometimes they don't really give. It's like you need a little bit more from Zay Flowers. You're just not getting. Mark Andrews, I mean, that's why he had the most tight ends, the most touchdowns last year amongst tight ends. I mean, he was that guy to be able to be that safety blanket, but he's going to be getting older and he's going to be getting phased out of this offense. To be honest with you, out of the last 5 games from their season last year, he scored in 3 out of those 5 games. And then also as well, especially in that playoff game that they had against the Bills, obviously everybody knows about that Mark Andrews drop that basically lost them the game and ended their season. I mean, that game as well likely had the most receiving yards in that game, had a touchdown as well, likely has been able to step up in big time plays, big time moments, big time situations for the team when he's been given the opportunity. I just think it's only a matter of time before they give him the keys to the offense in regards to at least that tight end room, and he kind of leapfrogs over Mark Andrews. And I'm very confident that this is going to be that year for Isaiah Likely. You know, right now he is currently dealing with an ankle injury, so he's projected to be he's not gonna be out for week 1, so he's not playing this week. He's not playing tomorrow, or today if you're watching it on Sunday. But he's not gonna be playing. But he will be starting. He will be coming in and playing within the next 3 weeks. But once he is on the field, I promise you, he's going to be taking over as tight end 1, and that's going to be something that you want to be a part of and kind of have a piece of. And I just feel like with him being only 15% roster right now, I just think it's ridiculous. So I just think people need to hop on Isaiah Likely, because eventually you don't feel it, bro. Once week 6 hit 7, you're like, dog, this dude is a problem. So that's somebody who I would definitely throw out there. So next, I got Donte Thornton Jr. All right, this is a guy, if you look back, if you watched my previous videos, he was in my rookie sleepers video way back a couple weeks ago, or was it a month ago? I don't even know how long ago it was, but it was a while ago. I seen Donte Thornton myself, and I scouted him. I'm like, this dude is a freak of nature. This dude is a problem. And you know, you can see a little bit more about what I think about him in that previous video, but I'm also gonna bring him back up again. Reason being is because since the preseason games has ended, all of a sudden, I've seen all this smoke about Donte Thornton. I've seen all these posts about, you know, how he's a sleeper right now. And the reason why that was because he was named a starter. He was named a starter. So he's a wide receiver. He ended up winning the wide receiver 2 position on this team, right behind Jacoby Myers. And to be honest with you, I'm not surprised at all. And so his roster percentage and leads have been climbing on a daily basis. So, I mean, I've been looking at it over the past like 4 or 5 days. Every single day I go and check, like, he's getting rostered more and more. People are more kind of catching on to Donte Thornton. But at the same time, he's still only 22% roster. So there's a very good chance, almost a 1 in 5 chance that he's sitting in your, 1 in 4, 1 in 5 chance that he's sitting in free agency right now for you. For me, I took him in every league I had. Every single league I had, I took him as my last pick. Nobody's really paying attention to him, and I was able to scoop him up. And so there's a good chance he's sitting in free agency. I highly advise that you do that. But anyway, this dude is a freak of nature when it comes to just his talent. And so he kind of picked up a lot of praise from the offensive guys, the defensive guys, the coaches, in regards to the Raiders organization. They noticed very quick that this dude is a problem. He is a problem, bro. He reminds me a lot of Brian Thomas Jr. When I was scouting him last year, that was part of the reason why I was big on Brian Thomas Jr. going into last year. And I bought into him early, drafted him, and it paid dividends. If you ended up buying into Brian Thomas Jr. last year, obviously it paid dividends for sure. But he reminds me a lot of Brian Thomas Jr. And so when I seen him and I scouted him, I'm just like, dude, this dude is a problem. So, but yeah, he's been turning heads in camp. He's been turning heads in camp in the Raiders organization. And so for them, I feel like it shows in the fact that they made him the wide receiver number 2. With that being the case, though, this offense will score points, right? Let's not forget, we got Brock Bowers there. You got Ashton Jency there as well. You got Jacoby Myers, and they have a solid offense. So with that being the case, there are other options to be able to free up more opportunities for them. And also they will find ways to move the ball and score points. And that is something that you want to be a part of. You want to be a part of any offense that is high scoring. it's going to pay dividends in regards to fantasy wise as well. But he has a very specific role on this offense. He is the one guy that can take the top off of the defense and really be a legit, consistent deep threat. That was something that he excelled at in college. And with the fact that his size and also his speed, he is a unicorn in regards to his role in this offense. And they just don't have any other guys that can really consistently be that deep threat, which means that he has a unique role on the offense that nobody else can really fill. I'm not saying, of course, you can have big plays from anybody, but when it comes to those deep balls, like, he can really excel at that. And that's something that he shined with in regards to college. So that's a big plus as well, because you don't have other people filling that void, primarily, in my opinion. Also, you got some new faces with the Raiders, and you got Jonnu Smith, right? Jonnu Smith has also been reunited with Pete Carroll. And we all know that Jonnu Smith can definitely throw the deep ball. He likes to throw the deep ball, and he likes to air it out. And that's a great sign for a guy like Donte Thornton, who can really excel in that role. Let's see, last year, Jonnu Smith was 4th in the league in regards to passing attempts. He was also 4th in the league in regards to passing yards as well. So Jonnu will be passing the ball heavy. I don't think that that's going to change. Pete Carroll knows how Jonnu works. Jonnu is coming off of his best season yet last year in regards to just statistic wise. And so Pete Carroll is going to do whatever he needs to do to make sure that Jonnu Smith is able to excel, and they're going to be on the same page. So I promise you, they're going to be throwing this damn ball. They will be throwing the ball, and there will be opportunities for reception for not only Jacoby Myers, obviously Brock Bowers, who's going to get fed, but Donte Thornton, who could maximize those big play opportunities. With that being the case, I just think that right now, Donte Thornton is, again, criminally unrostered right now. Like, I don't understand why he's not being mentioned along with some of these bigger names in regards to rookies. And he's somebody that is going to definitely catch heads and turn heads when the season actually officially starts. So if he's there and you have an open roster spot, you got somebody who, you know, your roster right now, you're drafting, you're like, I don't really know why I drafted this dude. I would highly recommend that you, you know, maybe drop somebody who you can afford to drop and try and stash Donte Thornton and see what happens throughout the first 4 weeks and see how he progresses. But I think he's somebody that needs to be rostered at a higher clip for sure. All right. And then the last person I got for you guys is Elic Ayomanor. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Wide receiver from, or you may not, but wide receiver from the Titans. Right now, he is only he's only rostered about 11% of leagues right now. So very, very, very good chance that he is sitting right now in your free agency. And so with him, just in case you don't know who he is, he's the guy that basically embarrassed Travis Hunter in college. He had 13 in that matchup against Travis Hunter in college in Colorado. He had 13 catches, 294 yards, almost 300 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And also he had that crazy head tap play on him to score and also win the game as well. So he's a monster, bro. This dude is he has the size. He's 6'2". He has the speed. He run a 4.4. He has elite route running, which has been kind of praised and mentioned by Cam Ward. And also you pair him up with a guy like Calvin Ridley, who could be a great mentor for him, specifically when it comes to route running as well. This dude is a problem, man. He's picked up some preseason hype as well in camp from his team. And he, as well as Donte Thornton, has earned his way and won a starting position, starting role. And he's the official wide receiver number 2 on this team, over Tyler Lockett, who's going to be used primarily in the slot and stuff like that. But still, it's going to be Calvin Ridley and it's going to be Elic Ayomanor out wide, and you're going to have Tyler Lockett in the slot. So, but he shined throughout minicamp. He shined throughout preseason. Every opportunity he's shown to be able to kind of, show his talents is been received with praise, not only from the head coach, who's kind of mentioned that he is consistent, he's reliable. And then also you got Cam Ward. He came out, had a couple of press conferences talking about him and Elic. And so he just mentioned that they're on the same page. He's mentioned that he's reliable. He's mentioned that he's going to try and get him the ball as much as possible when he's open. And with a guy like Cam Ward, I 100% believe him, because he is able to, he's one of those receivers that's going to feed his guys, right? He's one of those QBs that's going to feed his guys. Not every QB is like that. You got some QBs who just like to spread the ball around and whoever's open, but Cam Ward, he's one of those QBs that if you're my guy, I'm going to guarantee you that I get you the ball. I'm going to make sure that you're involved in the offense. And so that goes a long way. The fact that he's a rookie, want to start in position in I think a upcoming offense as well. And so I think that Cam Ward, again, great passer, great arm talent as well. I mean, obviously he's a rookie, so he's going to have his issues, but at the end of the day, it's a good position for Elic Ayomanor for sure. And so this guy, like I mentioned to you, 6'2", 4'4", he has short hands. He can high point the ball. Great route runner. And I think he has every opportunity to carve out a legit role on his offense consistently throughout the season. And I don't see any threat in regards to that from the rest of the roster, not even from the tight ends, to be real with you. I mean, I know, they got some tight ends there, but I think that he is somebody who you definitely need to roster or at least monitor throughout the first week and just see how things go. Maybe first week, second week, but I promise you, I don't think he's going to be, I think after week 1, week 2, bro, like people are going to start buying in and it's going to be a little bit harder to get your hands on some of these guys that I mentioned. So that's a quick little 5 people who I think are people that you need to check for in your fantasy league. See if they're available. If they are available, if they're available, I promise you, you need to consider picking up these guys, throwing them on your bench. And let's see what happens throughout these first couple of weeks, man. But I promise you, you won't regret it. Well, I can't promise because you know how things go, injuries and all that. But I'm pretty sure that these guys are really going to pay dividends for sure, man. And so we'll probably do another one. We'll recap, after week 1. We'll do some waivers after week 1. We'll see how week 1 goes. And we can kind of sit together and look at who we need to pick up off of waivers after week 1. But definitely make sure you guys subscribe. Make sure y'all stay tapped in, man, because I'm going to be cranking out a lot of volume here throughout the season. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.